Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Hope Day here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And we're about to get over the hump in the weather world. That is for sure. As Josh Myers put it, excellent, excellent vibes coming our way here in Northwest Arkansas. We've got a big time pattern change, plenty of rain chances as well. We still need a little bit more rainfall across portions of Northwest Arkansas. So, a lot of things to talk about in this live stream. Going to answer as many questions as possible here. This is going to be a very quick live stream. I got to get out of here within the next 30 minutes or so. So, this is going to be a quick one. So, if you got some questions, just let me know in the comments. I see a lot of folks joining in right now. We got Blaze chiming in saying, hello, Blaze. I hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday. Amber wants to know if fall is coming. And Amber, you're in the right place right now because we're going to answer that question. Are we going to get a taste of fall? Is this going to be something that lasts for an extended period of time? I know a lot of folks are wondering about that. Is this another false fall coming our way? We'll let you know about that in this weather live stream. But first things first, got to take a look at our Gaither Mountain WeatherBug Network camera in Harrison, folks. This camera is just incredible. This camera always produces the greatest sunrises in the morning. I love showing this camera off. Great view there in the eastern sky, but here comes those toasty temps once again, already in the middle to upper 80s along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, nearing 90 degrees in Fort Smith along the I-40 corridor in the River Valley. So watching that very closely. It's going to be another warm and muggy afternoon. In fact, if we take a look at those dew points right now, you're going to see that humidity already starting to crank up across our weather coverage area right now. Dew points in the lower to middle 70s area wide. So some tropical dews right now. Very, very humid, very, very warm and muggy. And that will continue through about tomorrow afternoon. And we'll show you why that is in just a minute. But let's kind of set the stage for this weather pattern. I can see some folks right here. Kathy's talking about fall. Barbara wants fall. Linda's ready for cooler weather. And Trace is actually asking about severe weather potential. So, Trace, good question. We'll get to that here. And I'm going to show you why I think the severe weather potential is going to be pretty low with this particular storm system, in my opinion. It's not going to be a setup that favors severe weather. And there's a couple of reasons behind that. But here's the current Lincoln satellite radar. Now, these fronts have been adjusted just a little bit. I haven't had time to kind of adjust them here in studio. We've had quite a few meetings this morning. But it gives you kind of a general idea of what's going on. We got high pressure that is starting to shift off to the east. So what does that mean? When this high pressure starts shifting off to the east, that's when we see a return to some slight chances for showers and storms. Now, that's going to be driven by the heat and humidity that we've got going on right now. But later on this weekend, we've got this low pressure system that's located over the Pacific Northwest, and this is going to bring us our big pattern change for the weekend that we've been talking about. And you can see all that energy cranking up right now near Billings and Montana, little boundary that's starting to swing off to the south and east as well. And this boundary is going to be pushing into Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley later on this weekend. That's going to be the driving force behind those rain chances that we're going to see. You can see that here on Future Track. This is that vorticity map. So this is showing the spin in the atmosphere. Remember, showers and storms develop out ahead of that spin. So a little bit of subtle energy showing up in Northwest Arkansas here. That's why we've got those slight chances for showers and storms. But here comes the main piece of energy right here. This is also going to bring in a big push of cool air behind it. In fact, once this boundary pushes through, temperatures could be dropping off into the 70s in some locations by the time we get to Labor Day. So a lot of good news on that front. But what about the rain chances? Well, as we move throughout the weekend, you can see those showers and storms ramping up over Northwest Arkansas, multiple rounds of showers and storms likely. I think Friday is going to be the main day for rain, right? So we got a lot of folks that are probably wondering about Labor Day weekend, want to do some outdoor activities, want to get outside with kiddos, want to go camping. As Sydney just said, she wants to go camping out at Beaver Lake. How's it going to be? Well, Sydney, if you're heading out there Friday, it's going to be wet. So make sure you've got the tarp packed, you've got the rain gear packed. You're going to want that if you're going to be out there. I think Saturday will also bring some good chances for showers and storms, especially in the River Valley, but Northwest Arkansas will get on the action. Where the uncertainty comes into play is beyond those 2 days. What's going to happen Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Are we going to have good rain chances those days? Right now, I actually lean towards maybe lower rain chances for those days. And the reason why that is because, as you'll see here, the boundary is setting up over central Arkansas rather than Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So the majority of the shower and storm development is going to be in portions of southeast Oklahoma, central Arkansas, and northern Texas rather than our weather coverage area. Yesterday, the models had the boundary setting up in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas. So that meant more shower and storm activity here in our area. Now, these models are going to flip flop. They're going to go back and forth. But at this time, I cannot increase the rain chances for Sunday, Monday, to Tuesday because there's little confidence in those days. But if there is a location favored for those showers and storms, it's going to be along and south of Interstate 40 as we head towards Labor Day. But a lot of cloud cover at the very least, and the cool air is not going anywhere. It's going to remain in place as we go throughout the early part of next week with maybe another piece of energy trying to swing into northwest Arkansas as we go throughout the latter half of next week. So that's something to watch very, very closely right there. But let's go ahead and look at our latest probability of precipitation before we get to the rainfall totals, because you're going to see the peaks and valleys here. So today and tomorrow, we have a 30% chance of showers and storms. I'm going to show you the rain chances for today in just a few moments. But Friday is the day that we're going to be most soggy in northwest Arkansas. Saturday and Sunday, higher rain chances as well. I think Saturday looks better for rain in northwest Arkansas, where Sunday those rain chances may be a little bit lower. And then uncertainty comes in the forecast for Monday into Tuesday. Now, in terms of rainfall totals, this is the latest forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. You can see here about an inch, inch and a half, a good bet for most spots, I think, over our coverage area. I do think there's a potential for a swath of heavier rainfall along the I-40 corridor towards the Fort Smith area. So if you live in the River Valley, I wouldn't rule out some locally higher amounts potentially. So we'll keep a close eye on that. But that's what we're looking at in terms of rainfall totals. I know somebody was asking about severe weather potential. Here's why the overall severe weather risk is going to be low. Look at the jet stream pattern. Look at where the main plume of jet stream energy is. Way off to the north and east. And that's common for this time of year, right? You're going to get most of the jet stream energy up here in the northern United States. Now, you see a little bit of energy moving in Monday to Tuesday. This is why the rain chances haven't been completely dropped off, even though the models are trying to indicate that maybe there's not going to be as much rain. I don't know if I necessarily buy that right now, but you can see that little piece of energy also moving into northwest Arkansas and the River Valley as we go throughout Monday into Tuesday of next week. But the main plume of jet stream energy, this big dip in the jet stream, is way off to the north and east, way off to the north. And that's typical for this time of year. That's a typical summertime pattern, which is why the severe weather potential isn't crazy. And Amber just led into it. This does explain why Canada has tornadoes this time of year. This is why, if you're a storm chaser, right, you're going to be heading up to the Dakotas. You're going to be heading up to southern Canada towards the Winnipeg area, because those areas get that plume of jet stream energy that we see here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley during spring and during the fall, which is why we always talk about secondary severe weather season. And it's why we're also going to be talking about more severe weather potential as we head towards the latter half of September into October, November, and December, because that's when we see this jet stream energy surge down to the south. You get these big pushes of cold air, highly unstable atmosphere. You get what we call, especially in the fall, low instability but high wind shear environments. It's because of that jet stream that dives down to the south during the fall months and sticks around as well during the spring, and especially during the spring, because then you have more instability to work with. So that's why the severe weather potential is low for this particular storm system. But let's go to what's going on today, because today we've got a weather pattern, right? We don't have this big system that's pushing in, right, like what we're going to have over the weekend, but we could have some pop-up thunderstorms as well. And Future Track's been hinting that maybe this activity could be a little bit more widespread than previously thought, which is why we increased the rain chances to 30%. You can see storms initially developing in the higher trend of northwest Arkansas, but check this out. You've got additional development going on in the River Valley as well. I think there will be the potential for more thunderstorms along the I-49 corridor. So these storms that develop right around 2, 3, 4 o'clock p.m., they will have the potential to produce some heavy rainfall and some gusty winds, but they are summertime storms. They are fueled by the heat and humidity that's in place. So once the sun goes down, those storms are going to cut off, and we're going to be dry overnight tonight to tomorrow morning. But that's not going to be the last of the rain chances, because check this out. As we head towards Thursday afternoon, more thunderstorms developing in northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley and in central Arkansas. And this is important because we've got a Razorback game, as a lot of you know, going on at War Memorial Stadium. And if we go here to kind of a wider view, you could see these thunderstorms that are bellowing up in portions of central Arkansas right around tailgating time. So if you're heading down to War Memorial Stadium for Arkansas and UAPB, just be aware if you're tailgating on the golf course, you may want to bring a rain jacket. You may want to have something to protect your tents or your little tarps and stuff like that, because there is a chance for some isolated and scattered showers and storms. Now, as we go throughout the actual game, those rain chances are going to be dropping off, and it should be a golden time to go 1-0. And expect plenty more dad jokes and puns from me from these game day forecasts, because that's just what I do. And also, tune in tomorrow on KNWA Today, because I'm going to give my official record prediction for the Razorbacks this year. And here's the deal. Diehard Razorback fan through and through. I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried about this upcoming season after last year, but I have confidence. I have confidence in the Hogs. I always have confidence in the Hogs, because that's what being a fan is all about. And also, I compare the Hogs sometimes to like a toxic relationship. You give a lot of love. Sometimes you don't get the love back. And that's how it feels sometimes for the Razorbacks. But you know what? I'll be down there. I'll be down there cheering them on. And that's why I'm also not going to be here Friday morning. Of course, Peyton Langford will have all of your latest weather details during the morning hours on Friday when those showers and storms are moving through. But Sarah's asking about the weather for Saturday, wanting to go to the Clothesline Fair in Prairie Grove. So, Sarah, we do have some shower and storm chances in the forecast, as you just saw. Could be a little bit soggy. I would bring that rain jacket out there just in case, but it could be a little bit gloomy, could be a little bit gray, but the temperatures will be much better for you, Sarah, as you're heading out there to the Clothesline Fair in Prairie Grove, which sounds like a lot of fun. It's something I need to check out as well, maybe this weekend, as I'll be back in town by the time we get to Saturday. But Alex says I'll be smoking those meats one way or another. Baby back ribs for you to pick up. Alex, man, I heard you're a big time smoker and stuff like that. I know you've got a lot of barbecue competitions coming up and stuff like that. Man, I'll take a baby back rib plate sometime soon. Right now, I'm going to be out of town over the next few days, but put me down. Put a rain check on those baby back ribs. I would love to try out some of your famous cooking there for sure. Yeah, 75 degrees up there in Canada. I bet that feels great. And we're going to have that, folks, because I'm going to reveal the 7-day forecast for you right now. You ready? Here it is. 78 degrees by the time we get to Tuesday. Labor Day, I wouldn't be surprised if we're in the upper 70s as well, but look at that overnight low. 59 degrees Monday night and Tuesday morning. Are you kidding me? Is it fall yet? Because it's certainly feeling like it in Northwest Arkansas. Of course, shower and storm chances there. Friday's the most likely time frame for rain. Saturday and Sunday, a little bit more up in the air. Labor Day, Tuesday, a lot of uncertainty in terms of the rain chances for those days. But the point is, we are going to get rain. We are going to get a big-time cool down, and it's not just confined to Northwest Arkansas. The River Valley will also see a bit of a cool down as well. High temperatures in the lower to middle 80s by the time we get to the early part of next week. Notice how rain chances sitting at 70% for Friday. I did bump up the rain chances to 60% in the River Valley for Saturday. I know it says 40%. I will say the caveat is I do have more confidence in the rain chances in the River Valley, just because if that boundary is a little bit farther south, of course, you're going to have more potential for rain along and south of Interstate 40. So that's what we're looking at there in the River Valley in terms of rain chances. Just wanted to add that real quick. Okay, Don, Mr. Carroll asking about forecast for College Station this weekend. So, Mr. Carroll, thank you so much for joining in. As you'll see here on Future Track, going to be a little bit soggy down there in College Station as we head towards Friday, and Saturday and Sunday could be a little bit rainy as well. So prepare, Mr. Carroll, for the potential for multiple rounds of showers and storms in College Station as we head throughout the weekend. I would bring the rain gear. I would have all that ready to rock and roll, because it is looking a little bit rainy down there in Texas as we move throughout the weekend, especially with the boundary surging a little bit farther south. It would be more focused for rain. You could have some heavier rainfall rates there as well. So keep an eye on that there, Mr. Carroll, in College Station. You think Kansas City on Saturday will be good, Josh? Wyatt, I do believe so. I mean, there could be a slight chance of showers and storms in Kansas City, Wyatt, but the boundary should be far enough south, I think, that it won't be as widespread as what we could see here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley. Yeah, I think you'll be good, Wyatt. I think you'll be good. I do have faith you'll be able to get that done. I think most of the rain's going to be out of the Kansas City area by the time we get to Saturday morning. I think you'll be good. Slight chance of rain. Can't rule it out, but I think you'll be good on that front. Brandon says 4-8 for the Hogs. Brandon, I don't blame you. Here's the deal. I don't blame anybody for any record that they may have. I know there's some people like, oh, you might be crazy for going 3-9, 4-8. You might be crazy for going 8-4, 9-3. Honestly, I see this season as being one that has a wide range of possibilities. I really do. I mean, with Bobby back, as Trace just said, with Bobby back in play here, you don't know. You never know. There could be something that surprises us this year about the Hogs. Maybe Taylor Green has developed into a high-level quarterback, right? Maybe your running backs are really good. Your offensive line's improved. Your defense continues to build upon the improvements they made last year. There's a lot of things that could happen. And Merrill, I know what this means. I'm not going to say what it means, but Bobby Petrino, man. Bobby Petrino, the Bobby Petrino effect. It's a real thing. And I'm interested to see what happens this year. I know this. I'm a sucker, and I'm going to be there no matter what. They may not win a single game this year, but I'm still going to go to every single game that I can. I'm going to go to that Oklahoma State game at 11 o'clock a.m. next Saturday. I'm going to try to make it to the Auburn game on the road. I'm going to try to. And then, of course, I'm going to be down there in Dallas, Texas with those Aggies. I'm not a big Aggie guy, as you can tell, and I get really fired up. I need to be careful here before I get too fired up, but A&M, I don't like at all. Let's just say that. I know Mr. Carroll was asking about what was going down there in College Station. I'm not a big Texas A&M guy, and I really hope we beat them this year because I'm so tired of them trash talking us as we move out of the stadium. All right, so James is asking about fall decor. So, James, here's the deal. And this is why I wanted to give this update too, because a lot of folks are like, okay, how long is this taste of fall going to last? Here's the deal. And this has not been updated yet, so if this is a little bit wonky, that's why. There's some uncertainty about the long-term weather pattern in Northwest Arkansas. Look at this big old wave of red, a big old wave of warmer than normal temperatures coming up for the early part of September. Folks, there is a chance that we get hot again as we head throughout the rest of this year. Actually, not just a chance, it's very likely that we do, right? It's almost 100% chance. The consistent fall-like weather pattern in Northwest Arkansas really doesn't come into place until the middle part of October. You could still get some bouts of heat until like early to mid-October in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. I do think, though, consistent fall weather is on tap as we head towards the middle part of October. In terms of like fall decor, that's up to you. I'm all about putting up fall decor as early as possible because I just want to manifest those vibes. But I'm just letting you know it's probably going to get hot again as we move throughout the month of September. In fact, September is one of the most extreme months in terms of temperatures. We could be talking about 90-degree weather, and then we could be talking about 50-degree weather, right? It's going to be these big, wide ups and downs, and that's why severe weather season starts ramping up after September again, because then the jet stream dips down and you get these big pushes of cooler air, and that big push of cool air is that consistent fall pattern that folks are looking for. So it's up to you, James, but yeah, it's probably going to get warm again. That's for sure. I know Wyatt Payton may be watching. He knows that I don't like A&M. He knows. And that's the thing. I've been a Razorback fan my entire life. And my dad raised me a lot right. He raised me right. He said, A&M, Texas, LSU, those guys right there, you can't like them. And you know what? I listened to him. You know, there's some things I didn't that I wish I listened to my dad about a little bit more when I was younger. Those three things right there, not liking those three schools, I think I did a good job listening on that front. So that's all I'll say on that front there. Let's see here. Josh asking about the golf. Going on a cruise next week. Well, Josh, let's kind of look here at what the pattern's looking like overall. I want to see what the CPC says about precipitation, because it does look like there's an active weather pattern across a lot of the United States. And look at that. Look at the Gulf. Man, the Gulf getting active. I'll tell you that much. A lot of shower and storm potential as we move throughout the next 6 to 10 days. So, Josh, if I was leaning towards a general pattern, obviously I can't get into specific details, but it could get a little bit rainy in the Gulf on your cruise. And let's look at the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Still, a lot of those showers and storms hanging out along the Gulf, which is a very typical pattern for this time of year. So keep an eye on that, Josh. Could be a little bit rainy for that cruise. Again, I can't get into specifics, but a general pattern does favor above average precipitation in the Gulf. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Any idea on what the winter will look like after the crazy spring, Amber? We're going to get to that. We're going to have a big old winter weather outlook once we get into fall. That's typically when we do it, because then we're going to start cracking open persimmon seeds. We're going to start talking Farmer's Almanac. We're going to start talking the National Weather Service's official predictions. We got all that stuff coming up as we move towards September and October. So don't you worry. We're going to have the latest details. But I will say this. There is, and this is something that we've done research on. In terms of correlation between warm summers, crazy springs, crazy winters, stuff like that, it's inconclusive on that front. It's inconclusive. There's not enough concrete evidence that a crazy spring leads to a crazy winter or vice versa, right? So that's what I'll say on that front, but we'll have more information on these things as we head towards the winter time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I can promise you that. I know, Debbie. I know. I'm so sorry. I wish we could change it too. I wish we could just snap a finger and get right to it. But unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it's in the cards right now to have consistent fall-like weather as we head towards the early part of September and beyond there. So that's what we're looking at right there. Yeah, I have to get through our second tornado season before winter, James, and that's it right there. Secondary severe weather season is going to be cranking up very soon, and we're going to be talking about that as we get closer. But I got to go ahead and wrap this up because we're at 24 minutes. I said 30 minutes or less, and I really do need to get going because I got some meetings that I got to attend to, and got a golf game this afternoon at 3:00 p.m. So hopefully that goes okay. Probably won't, but we'll give it a shot out there at the Country Club at Bella Vista. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody joining in on the conversation. Again, Dan going to be here later on this evening. He's going to have all the latest details. Again, tomorrow morning, I'm going to have my official record predictions. So if you're up at those ungodly hours, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, look out for my record prediction because I'm going to give you the latest details on the Razorback football front. Last year, I projected 8-4. We finished 4-8, so you flip-flop it. Technically, I was correct on that front. But don't use my picks if you are interested in betting because, again, I have a biased point of view on the Hogs, and I'm always drinking the Kool-Aid. But anyway, hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. God bless everybody. We'll see you guys later on this evening and conclude it with a nice pig suey. Go home.